Yo, what is up guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back yet again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance video today, guys. It's another no hype review. We are back with the house of Xerjoff yet again, and I cannot wait to talk about this flanker of pretty much one of the best fall winter fragrances on the planet. Now before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys. Okay, liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to the channel. If you guys are into in-depth, highly detailed reviews of fragrances, guys, this is the spot to be. And again, please do not forget to do that, guys, and continue to support the channel as we head to 14,000 subscribers. Now the fragrance that we will be talking about today is none other than Xerjoff's Alexandria Orientale. Yes, Alexandria Orientale. Okay, this fragrance right here is a flanker of the uber popular Xerjoff Alexandria II that came out all the way back in 2012. Oh my god, it's been a long time, guys. But in addition to that, guys, this one was previously a UAE exclusive, guys. Okay, this was exclusive to the United Arab Emirates. At one point, you would have to fly there to really get it. And the reason why I'm saying it's a former exclusive is because right now it is available in sample format as well as full bottle format in the Xerjoff Universe website. Now, this is precisely the reason why I really wanted to try and eventually review Alexandria Orientale. It's the fact that this was a UAE exclusive, guys, and Alexandria II, to me, let me tell you guys, it's a wonderful fragrance, guys, and I think that Alexandria II is really super mainstream lovable. It really does have a lot of great elements such as your apple, your cinnamon, guys, your oud, vanilla, and rose. All these really nice mainstream elements that I think make up a wonderful fall winter fragrance. And I do have a full video of that, guys. I have a full review of Alexandria II. If you have not watched that, guys, that is on my video library. But this one right here, Orientale, I mean, this one I was really curious because, like I said, this was sold at one point only to the Emirati, or those that were living in the United Arab Emirates. Now, if you're probably wondering, why have I not mentioned Alexandria III? Well, that's because Alexandria III to me was kind of like a letdown, guys, okay? Like, honestly, when I tried and tested Alexandria III, I really didn't see a lot of differences with Alexandria II. Maybe they swapped a few things out, but at the end of the day, like, I really couldn't consider it as another really solid flanker of Alexandria II with some really legit modifications. And now I realize why a lot of fragrance reviewers tend to condense the Alexandria series into just one video. They don't do multiple different reviews of each scent, but then they just do a comparison thing between 2, 3, Orientale, and Imperial. So that's why not a lot of differences when it came to Alexandria III, so we're skipping that. So this one right here, Alexandria Orientale, I will be breaking down this scent, guys. I will explain to you guys the scent development piece by piece, and of course I will give you guys the strong points of this fragrance that maybe will make you buy a bottle of this if you guys are interested. Now, before we do that, let's go spray this thing right now. Okay, guys, now let's talk about Alexandria Orientale, previously a UAE exclusive, now available for everybody to buy online. Now, this fragrance right here starts off pretty similar yet again with Alexandria II, and that's because you've got the apple. The apple note is one of the most prominent, significant notes of Alexandria II. It's one of the reasons why it's really loved. You've got that green apple smell right there, and with Alexandria Orientale, you still get that apple. That apple will come out right from the get-go. So you might have initial feels of Alexandria II. So nothing different there. But the slight difference here, guys, is the addition of basil. And the basil goes with the apple, guys. And the backdrop, instead of having your palisander rosewood on Alexandria II, you have the background of incense. This one right here still has that apple, that very recognizable apple, but now it's fresh, spicy with that basil, and the backdrop is obviously Oriental. It's definitely Oriental with that incense. Now I know when you guys looked at the notes, you also found that there's leather here in the intro, but let me tell you this guys, that the leather is pretty faint and is well blended in, and maybe you guys might not even really detect it, or maybe it just adds a dimension to that incense. But the backdrop is incense, very oriental, but again, you'll still get the same apple goodness that you can expect from Alexandria II right there. Now, when it came to Alexandria II, guys, lavender was a big thing. Okay, why? Because the lavender provided kind of like an uplifting, calming feel, another mainstream lovable note that is added to the hit of cinnamon as well as the apple. And that's really what makes Alexandria II amazing, because you would have these uplifting feels, and then at the same time you would have fruity, you would have spicy, and you would have more grounded notes such as woods and rose. Now with this fragrance right here, Alexandria Orientale, surprisingly, even with different notes, it's able to pretty much replicate that same sensation right here heading into the mid that Alexandria II had. So right here, guys, this one has orris. So there's a powdery orris that really comes in headed into the mid, and it is joined by a strong cedar note. So there's no lavender from Alexandria II, but instead the uplifting vibe is given out by that orris cedar combo. And it seems totally different. You're gonna get that powdery feel from that orris with that cedar, but let me tell you guys, it's still ultimately kind of like the same progression right here, guys. And of course, this all heads into the rose, but this time, guys, the rose has the spice of coriander. So it is a spicy rose with a little bit of zing, guys. The coriander to me is a very prominent note right here in the mid. I mean, you are going to get that warm, beautiful, sweet rose, but at the same time, guys, spicy with that coriander that continues on from the basil spice in the beginning. So definitely I will say that Alexandria Orientale is a much spicier version, no doubt, compared to Alexandria II. Now let's talk about the scent progression of Alexandria Orientale, shall we? Because really, when I watched other reviews of this fragrance, a lot of the reviewers pretty much would jump the gun into some of the more prominent parts of the fragrance, guys, without really telling you how the chronological progression is on this fragrance. Now, the first stage of Alexandria Orientale to me lasted a full hour. Okay, safe to say maybe 45 minutes to an hour. This is the apple part. Okay, this is the apple goodness, mainstream lovable apple part that is mixed with fresh spicy basil in the backdrop of incense and mild leather. This one lasts a full hour. So definitely it is going to be an enjoyable period, and it will be pretty similar still to Alexandria II, guys. And then once the orris and cedar kicks in, as well as that spicy rose that I was talking about, this one actually goes from hour 1 to like hour 5 or 6. Okay, so this is a big stage right here of this fragrance, guys. Okay, so just in case you hear a lot of people talking about how great the dry down is or how great the oud is, guys, just know that you will be experiencing first and foremost that top notes part for a good hour, and then the mid part for another good 6 hours before you get to the dry down. I just want to let y'all know that, FYI. Now, the big question that I always ask on almost every fragrance that has oud is, where is the oud? Okay, where is the oud? And again, when I saw other reviews of this fragrance, it seemed like other fragrance reviewers were praising the oud on Alexandria Orientale. Now, as you guys know, the last video I made here was on Ombre Nomad, and to me, Ombre Nomad was like a perfect example of a real deal oud fragrance that really, you know, would give you a punch of oud in the face while mixing it in with other really well-liked notes. And to be honest, that is what I thought about. I thought about Ombre Nomad, and I also thought about Louis Vuitton's Pour Oud, where you would layer pure oud with other fragrances to kind of add that oud punch. And I thought that Orientale would be one of those, that this one would basically be Alexandria II with a huge punch of oud. And of course, that did not happen. That did not happen with Alexandria Orientale at all, guys. And actually, I never look at the prices of these fragrances, but I did find out as I checked the retail price of Alexandria II and Orientale that they were pretty much the same. They had the same retail price, guys. I thought that Orientale, being a UAE exclusive, would be a lot more expensive because I thought maybe the oud would be a much stronger concentration here, guys. But no, they're priced exactly the same. So basically, you're not gonna get that right here, guys. The oud right here, guys, is basically a dark oud wood that is blended in with the tobacco note. That is basically what you are going to get. A tobacco oud combo that is mild. It's not really strong, but you can tell that it's a dark oud wood mixed with tobacco. Kind of chocolatey, actually. That chocolatey oud, you've heard me say this in other reviews, that chocolatey oud. But the thing is, guys, do not forget that right here on the dry down, the base notes of Alexandria II and Orientale, you are going to get, of course, the vanilla and amber. That's the thing. So with the vanilla and amber predominant here in the dry down, is gonna be sweet no matter what. So it's not going to be a predominant oud experience that I thought, but rather, like I said, a mild tobacco oud blend, chocolatey with that amber and vanilla. So a lot of sweetness still here in the end, with the oud being the dark oud wood right here. And of course, there's sandalwood to kind of balance it and back it up to give a woody ending right here to this fragrance. And there's also musk. Don't forget that there's musk, which does provide a sensual dry down here in the end of Alexandria Orientale. Now, what's the total on this in terms of performance? This fragrance, to me, I could smell it over 12 hours, probably 13 hours, guys, okay? So it's a really long-lasting fragrance, guys, especially after I told you guys that the mid pretty much ends at hour 6, and a lot of fragrances end at hour 6, but this one continues on to 12 and past 12 when it comes to the hours, guys. So it's a long-lasting fragrance, and this one right here is a moderate projector. It's actually a lingering moderate projector. And when I think about that, I think about somebody that is classy, rich, but is at the same time modest. Okay, it's for a modest, gracious, classy human being that's probably rich, because this will definitely make you smell rich. And that's the reason why maybe this was made for the United Arab Emirates market. There's a lot of Emirati out there that are pretty modest in how they carry themselves, and so that makes sense that this isn't some loud banger, something that's going to conquer the room, but rather is a fragrance that is modest, lingering. It's a draw in. It's a wonderful scent. Now, here's a question right here. Is this fragrance unisex? In my opinion, Alexandria Orientale is incredibly unisex. And I remember when I talked about Alexandria II, I kind of said that, you know, maybe it would lean a little bit more masculine simply because it had lavender and it had like cinnamon spice. But this one right here, I think that women can definitely wear it, because this time you've got orris to replace the lavender, the rose is still there, apple, as well as that ambery dry down, that sweet dry down. In my opinion, women can wear this as well. And this is, of course, a classy evening time fragrance to me, guys. If you are going out to somewhere expensive or classy or pricey, this is a fragrance that you can definitely bring with you as you go to those places. This one right here has the same mainstream lovable nature of Alexandria II. I don't really know if that's a good or bad thing, because guess what? Alexandria II is already made for that. That's exactly what Alexandria II is all about. This one right here has a few edits, but again, at the end of the day, I really feel like it is also another mainstream lovable scent. It really doesn't lean too much into, you know, the Middle Eastern perfume side of things. I mean, it's no ombre nomad. This is a flanker, but despite all those swaps and trades of notes, with Alexandria II, guys, I mean, it's still pretty similar in my opinion, and you'll see that in other feedback from different people in the fragrance world. A lot of people say that, you know, it is very, very similar. Now, with that being said, here are the big questions. Number one, if I already have Alexandria II, should I get Alexandria Orientale? I don't think so. You shouldn't, guys. Do not get Alexandria Orientale, or basically what you'll get is pretty much a backup bottle. If you have two, don't go into Orientale. You're really not missing much by going into Orientale. Now, if you don't have Alexandria II, and maybe you got a vial and you liked Alexandria II, should you just go and skip it and go to Orientale? In my opinion, you can. You definitely can. If you don't have a full bottle of two, a full bottle of Orientale is a great option right here, guys. Not so different from two, so you will still be enjoying that apple goodness of two as well as some spices, but Orientale pretty much has a magic of its own with that incense, with that orris replacement, as well as a little bit of that oud tobacco mix in the end, guys. Okay, so in my opinion, Alexandria Orientale, great to buy full bottle if you don't have a full bottle of two or three. This is a nice flanker, but again, it's really hard to replace the original. You know what I'm saying, guys? And I feel like Xerjoff made this for like a marketing strategy. That's just me. I feel like it's a marketing strategy to maybe at that point, 2018, 2019, to grab the UAE market, to get a lot of people from the UAE as neophytes into the Xerjoff world. That's probably why they made this. But you can tell by smelling the notes that, you know, just like, you know, an ex that you can't let go of, pretty much Xerjoff couldn't let go of those really prominent pieces of Alexandria II. They couldn't let it go, and they had to still put most of them, if not all of them, into this Orientale right here, guys. So that is it. That is my review on Alexandria Orientale by Xerjoff. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think, especially if you have tried 2, 3, and Orientale, and maybe even Imperial. I'm definitely going to try that fourth one, guys, to complete the series. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think, guys. All right, and until then, I'll see you guys on the next video. Do not forget to like and subscribe. God bless. Take care. Peace.